Thank you, Chair. I'll break mine up. Thank you for appearing here today. I said in 2018 that this is a dog, no cost-benefit analysis, no transparent business case, no basis. From your January 2024 project update, Florence has started moving again, drilling the headrace tunnel at Tantangara. How much distance has been made since the machine became bogged?
241 metres as of this morning.
241 metres. How many weeks is that?
That's about 8 weeks.
8 weeks. Once completed, let's move on to the water. Once completed, the project will require how much water to operate, and what will the losses be, evaporation and seepage?
So the Tantangara Dam reservoir will contain 350,000 gigawatt hours of water equivalent, which is around 700 gigalitres.
How many gigalitres?
240 gigalitres, sorry, a third of that, and 2/3 of that. And the losses on moving the water uphill and bringing it downhill is in the order of 20%.
And evaporation and seepage?
Well, there's no additional evaporation caused by the operation of Snowy 2.0.
Okay. I appreciate you can access Talbingo water, but I'm looking at issues around Tantangara, the top dam. Tantangara Dam has a poor catchment, as I understand it, holds a nominal 250 gigalitres, you said 240, and is currently at 19% capacity, so roughly 47 gigalitres. You must be watching the water closely, since water is essential to your project. Can you tell me the latest capacity and how much of that is dead storage?
I think our resource consent for Tantangara Reservoir allows us to store 240 gigalitres, and obviously before we were to operate Snowy 2.0, we would ensure that it was more full than 19%, but there's no lost storage in effect.
What's the effective storage that you're counting on?
240 gigalitres, which turns into 350 gigawatt hours.
Okay. So the long-term weather forecasts say that it'll be fairly wet until it starts becoming dry around 2032, when Snowy 2 starts. Tantangara, as I understand it, is used to store and release all of the environmental water going into the Murrumbidgee River. What happens if the 40 gigalitres available after dead water, unless there's another figure in there, dead water being the amount of water that's basically inaccessible because it's below the outlet. What happens if the 40 gigalitres available after dead water is required for environmental flow? Who owns the water that you pump from Talbingo to Tantangara? Can you show me the water use agreement between your project, the federal government and the New South Wales government, please?
Well, we don't own the water. We operate under the terms of our water licence. Perhaps Mr Whitby can, which is a public document.
Yeah. I think, Senator, you're not taking into account the natural inflows that occur into the upper Murrumbidgee, which are from memory, and this is off the top of my head, it's about a similar amount of that 240 gigalitres of storage.
It's a fairly small catchment, though, as I understand it.
There's still quite a bit of water that comes in there.
Quite a bit. How much?
I just said off the top of my head, Senator, around about 240 gigalitres.
So that's in addition.
Inflows, and additionally, when Snowy 2 is operating, depending on the balance between pumping and generation, you can take water out of Talbingo, the lower storage. The whole point of the arrangement.
So my understanding is that the Commonwealth Environmental Water Holder owns and controls every drop in that dam?
No.
Okay. The Snowy Water Inquiry, which was some years ago, Inquiry Outcomes Implementation Deed, SWIOID, is currently under review based on the upper Murrumbidgee River running dry recently. Will any outcome from that review lead to your water entitlement being reduced or affected in any way?
I think it's too early to say. That's got some time to go.
That would be a significant risk to the project, the whole project. Surely you've done some assessments of it.
Well, I think the review will take into account and balance the needs of all stakeholders, including the national electricity market. But there are times, of course, where, if we go back to the 2019 drought and bushfires, the flows through the upper Murrumbidgee were higher than they would have been, than naturally would have occurred as a result of our operations. So it can have a positive effect.
So according to an ABC article, Snowy Hydro has previously stated that the regulation governing water allocations for the scheme is independent of it and that the government owns the water. Is that correct?
Yes.
So there's no agreement at risk here?
Well,
You're not subject to an agreement?
We operate under our water licence, and the implementation deed you referred to from 2002 is the instrument that's under review.
2002. That's SWIO.
Yeah, SWIOID, as we call
SWIOID.
it internally.
That's odd. All right. 3 weeks ago, the New South Wales Government announced temporary water restrictions on Murrumbidgee water licences, specifically water source 1 and 2 high river flow licences. Are you confident you'll always get your water? Because everyone seems to be claiming the water, the farms, the towns, the environment, but who actually gets it in the water brawl?
I might leave that one to Mr Whitby, but we don't consume any water.
I'm not sure I really understand the question, Senator. Are you saying, are we confident that we will get future inflows?
Yes.
Well, that's a matter for the gods. I'll leave it there.
So we're leaving it to the gods.